I hid the letter and I raced to a place, screamed, I'll cut you in the face. She said, no, sir.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most inexcusable events that have ever befallen the musical stage. We're also expanding our scope beyond productions that were on Broadway proper. Beware of spoilers.
You want me back only to pick up your slippers and put up with your tempers and fetch and carry for you.
No, I didn't say I wanted you back at all.
Number 10. Poor Judd is Dead, Oklahoma.
All gather round his coffin now and cry.
When we first meet Curly in Oklahoma, he seems like a great guy. He's handsome, played by the likes of Hugh Jackman, you've gotta be, and he has a genial spirit. He might be a bit of a cocky flirt when it comes to Lori, but he seems to mean well.
Only she talked so mean to me a while back, Aunt Eller, I'm a good mind not to take her.
Ain't said I was going.
Ain't asked you.
But then we arrive at the song Poor Judd is Dead. Curly tries to convince Judd, the other suitor vying for Lori's attention, that maybe the world would be better off if he weren't alive.
What women ever took a shine at me?
Why, lots of women. Only they never come right out and tell you how they feel unless you die first.
You heard that right. Curly spends an entire song claiming Judd would be more appreciated by others if he were out of the picture. It's a shockingly great character revelation for Curly, but pretty darn unforgivable.
Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head. He's laying in a coffin made of wood.
Number 9. Christine's Death, Love Never Dies. We could justify the entirety of Love Never Dies being an entry. This musical was so bad that even Andrew Lloyd Webber himself couldn't keep the negative press at bay.
Hi, Christine.
You're Christine. I was yours one brief night long ago.
But we'll try to keep our scope narrow and focus on the death of Christine Daae. The story takes place a decade after the events of the Phantom of the Opera and sees her married to Raoul with a kid named Gustave. Throughout the musical, she has almost no agency at all. Less than in the original, if you can believe it.
Raoul, please.
Please what?
Nothing.
Her barely there storyline ends in an untimely death by firearm. The show is nonsensical at best, but the decision to kill off the main character in such a fashion is ludicrous.
And somehow our story is done.
Number 8. Evan's Lie, Dear Evan Hansen.
He looks around and says to me, there's nowhere else I'd rather be, and I say, me too.
Zoe might forgive Evan at the end of Dear Evan Hansen, but for us, it's going to take a little more convincing. This incredibly popular musical chronicles the story of Evan Hansen, an anxiety-ridden teen who lies about being best friends with a classmate Connor who took his own life. His lie starts off small enough, but as the show goes on, it's impossible to justify. He becomes closer with the classmate's family, even going so far as to date Connor's sister Zoe.
He thought you looked really pretty. It looked pretty cool when you put indigo streaks in your hair.
He did?
When everything comes crashing down, Evan rightly gets a little comeuppance. But if we had our way, everyone would be a lot less quick to forgive this whole situation.
How could you do this? I guess I thought I could be part of this. I never had this kind of thing before.
Number 7. The Dogfight, Dogfight. Imagine how you'd feel before a first date. Excited, probably a little nervous, butterflies going haywire. Now imagine you learn that the other person only asked you out because they found you ugly.
Isn't it funny you believe that it was real?
Here you have the plot of Dogfight. In the show, 3 Marines decide to hold the titular event on the eve before they ship out. The idea is straightforward. Whoever can swing the least attractive date wins cash. Eddie, our main character, definitely evolves throughout and isn't nearly as bad as his friends.
This is some part of your stupid dogfight, I swear I'll kill you.
Rose, the woman he asks out, eventually finds it in her heart to forgive him. But alas, we think we will just stay mad on her behalf.
Don't know why I decided.
Number 6. Angel's Death. Rent.
It was bad for me. Was it bad for you?
It's over.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
Some plot points you can't forgive because they don't make sense, or they're mean, or what have you, but some just make you unbearably sad. This is the case with Angel's death in Rent. From the moment we meet Angel, it's impossible to not be taken in by her effervescent charm. She and Collins quickly fall in love, bonding over their HIV-positive status.
Live in my house, I'll be your shelter. Just pay me back with 1,000 kisses.
Unfortunately, their relationship is cut short by her untimely passing. When Angel passes away, the gang of friends hold a funeral for her and perform I'll Cover You reprise. We dare anyone to make it through this scene without bawling their eyes out. Jonathan Larson, we get it, but we will never forgive you. Number 5. Higgins and Eliza. My Fair Lady.
You see, Mrs. Higgins, apart from the things one can pick up, the difference between a lady and a flower girl is not how she behaves, but how she is treated.
We love watching Rex Harrison sing, or really speak. I've grown accustomed to her face as much as the next person. But something about the end of My Fair Lady just has never sat right with us.
Just you write 10 readings till you're sick, and you scream to fetch a doctor double quick. I'll be off a second later and go straight to the theater.
In the musical, Professor Henry Higgins makes a bet that he can teach Eliza Doolittle to speak like a lady. He achieves his goal, but not without being a total jerk to her the entire time.
The ring spin stays mainly in my play.
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
Despite Higgins' foolery, the two develop feelings for each other. He can't get past his own hang-ups long enough to be a kind person towards Eliza.
I shall miss you, Eliza. I've learnt something from your idiotic notions. I confess that, humbly and gratefully.
And yet she still comes back to him in the end. We've never understood it, especially with Freddie Eynsford Hill standing right there. Number 4. Jonathan Pryce's casting. Miss Saigon.
The champagne! It's time we all entertain my American dream!
There's no doubt that Miss Saigon is one of the most epic productions to ever hit the stage. But over the years, the show has become mired in controversy due to its misogynist and racist elements. And of course, for its casting, particularly that of Jonathan Pryce as the engineer.
They're using the coincidence of Jonathan Pryce and Miss Saigon going to Broadway to apply their new policies, try them out on him, and that we consider to be offensive, frankly.
In the show, the engineer is the French-Vietnamese owner of the establishment where Kim works. Pryce, who originated the role on the West End, is a full-on white man.
Prosthetics, it's a light, sort of very light latex, which is a false lid.
I'd hate that. Does it not irritate and
I'd rather be without them.
Despite this, he won both an Olivier and a Tony Award for his portrayal. 1989 wasn't that long ago. We can't believe this was allowed to happen.
I'm shocked, and I still am kind of numb about it, really. It's a decision we didn't expect them to make.
Number 3. Hamilton's Infidelity. Hamilton.
And I said, well, I should head back home. She turned red, she led me to a bed, let her legs spread and said, hey, hey. That's when I began to pray, Lord, show me how to say no to this.
Do you hear all those voices shouting no throughout Say No to This?
And her mouth is on mine and I don't say no. No, say no to this. No, no, say no to this. No.
That's us as we watch Alexander Hamilton cheat on his lovely and adoring wife. It may be historically accurate, but that doesn't mean it's forgivable. Not only does Hamilton cheat on Eliza, but he keeps it a secret from her for quite some time. And not only does he keep it a secret, but he then publishes his infidelity in a public document in order to save face for something else entirely.
My real crime is an amorous connection with his wife for a considerable time with his knowing consent. Damn!
These are the actions of an unwell man. Obviously, the two are brought back together through tragic events, but this is a transgression we will not forget. Number 2. Judas's betrayal, Godspell.
Yes, it's all for the best.
To say this is not okay would be an understatement.
One of you among us will betray me.
If you've read the Bible, or, haven't been living under a rock, you probably know that Judas betrayed Jesus, and that action led to his crucifixion. Well, the same inexcusable events occur in Godspell, which premiered off-Broadway in 1971, eventually going to Broadway 5 years later.
Take my hand, take you home. We see nations rise in each other's eyes.
They also occur in the 1971 musical Jesus Christ Superstar. These guys loved writing about Jesus, and we get it. Judas's decision is the ultimate act of betrayal, and it's rife with dramatic tension. As we understand it, Jesus was a pretty forgiving guy, but if there was ever something to hold a grudge over, we'd say this is it.
Oh God, I'm dying.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Orpheus Turns, Hadestown. You couldn't wait like one more minute, dude?
It's you.
A Little Fall of Rain, Les Miserables. Marius doesn't deserve you, Eponine.
You will keep me safe, and you will keep me close, and rain will make the flowers grow.
Here for you, 9 to 5 the musical. Mr. Hart got what he deserved.
Will I get those legs uncrossed? Course I will, yeah, 'cause I'm the boss. I will win at any cost time.
Radames and Aida's fate. Aida. Why did they have to die at the end?
We leave the world's misfortunes fall behind us, and I will put my faith and trust in you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Anita's Assault, West Side Story.
Why don't you dance for us first? Dance with me, darling, like you danced at the gym.
We never expected a musical about gang warfare to give us happy, cuddly feelings, but some emotional beats in West Side Story are almost too much to bear. The fake-out of Maria's death before Tony meets his untimely end is just about as unforgivable as it gets.
Don't you touch me. I got a message for your American buddy. You tell that murderer that Maria's never going to meet him.
But the Jets' attempt to assault Anita is even worse. Towards the end, Anita tries to tell Tony that Maria is going to come meet him so they can run away, but that she'll be a little late. She's apprehended by the Jets, who are struggling with the death of their leader, Riff. They proceed to act out in unspeakable ways.
Go back where you came from.
You think I want to stay here? In a city full of ugly little animals like you?
Thankfully, Anita eventually escapes, but it leaves a terrible taste in the mouth of the viewer.
You dishonor yourselves. You dishonor your dead.
Did we miss any of your least favorite events in your favorite musicals? Let us know in the comments below.
Nobody needs to know.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.